Hello, I think I'm live. Am I live? I think so. Anyway, I am going to make some roses or flowers out of wired ribbon. This kind of ribbon right here. This is a roll of Sam's ribbon, and I'm going to show you how. And by the way, my name is Sharon. I have a little business called Maggie Bell Posh where I make home decor like wreaths and garlands and centerpieces and things like that. So if you are online, come on in and join me. I don't know if I can see any comments, maybe not, but anyway, let's get started. You will need a few tools, not very many, like scissors, a glue gun, probably a little wire cutter, of course your ribbon. I cover the bottom with felt, so we're going to cut a round out of the felt. And let's see, that's about it. You don't need a lot of things to make these, so let me show you how. First of all, you choose a length of ribbon. Okay, here's my ribbon. I chose this Sam's ribbon because it's got a pattern. Now this appears green. It's only the reflection, I don't know what, of this very bright light. Got this pattern on this side, a little different pattern on the other side, so you can choose what you want to use. But first of all, you cut a length, ever how long you want it. I usually make mine between 36 and 50 inches, so it depends on the size of the flower. Oh, let me show you some finished flowers. Here's one. This looks more like a peony, I guess. Is that how you say it, peony, instead of a rose? But anyway, there it is. I have glued on the back. I'm trying to determine if I have comments or what. Well, let's see. Okay. That just muted me. Okay, bear with me. Okay, I have glued a felt circle on the back to cover the mechanics in the back, and then some extra leaves that I have hanging around. So you can make them a little bigger like that. You can make them like a rosebud, like this one. I'm using mine to decorate this, which I don't know what to call this. I got it, I think, off TikTok Shop. But it is a paddle of some sort, and you use it to put the top sheet or put the sheet between the mattress and the box spring. Anybody have trouble doing that, stuffing it in there? Well, this is one of these I'm giving as some gifts to some people. So I decorated it with a little ribbon, the roses and whatever, and stuck it on the handle here. So anyway, that's what I'm using these for. You can use it in a centerpiece. I don't have these in here yet, but I'm making a swag for over a mirror, and I'm going to put some of the roses in there. So, to get started, choose your length, whatever you want. I'm going to make this one probably about 32, this might be about 40 inches. So, I'm just going to kind of measure it out on the table like so. That's about 40 inches. Like I said, depends on the size you want. And then you cut it, and let me get my good cutting scissors. I'm going to cut it. Okay. And I'm going to choose a side. Doesn't matter if it's the top or the bottom, but just choose one side. I'm going to pull a little bit of the wire out. I don't even know if you can see that because my light's kind of bright, but there's a very thin wire in this Sam's ribbon. And I'm pulling it out a little bit, and I'm going to bend it back so that the fabric will not come off the wire. I'm just bending it back to kind of close it off, so to speak. That's what I'm doing right here. Okay, now here's the important thing. You choose the same side that you bent the wire on, go to the other end, take that wire, find that wire in there. I use my teeth a lot of times, don't tell my dentist, and start pulling it. I find it easier to wrap it around my finger as I'm going all the way down. If you sew, you've probably gathered things. I do not sew. I'm the worst, most frustrated, unhappy seamstress in the world, so I leave that to the experts. Obviously not me, but I do know how to gather. So that's what we're doing. We're gathering this all the way down. And then when you get it about as gathered as you want, and I'm not there yet, we'll wrap it. I wrap it around my finger as I go a lot of times, because you can use this excess wire at the end or not, up to you. I'm just trying to evenly, more or less, gather it. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, this is the slowest part. Honestly, the rest of it goes much faster. It's just getting it kind of gathered evenly as you want. And I'm going to try to shortcut this a little bit so we can see what's going on here. Okay, when I get to the end, just to keep this wire and ribbon from unraveling on me all over again, I'm going to clip it. I don't know that you have to do that, but I like to do that because I don't want to have to gather but once. Okay, clipped off. Okay, now you go back to the end you started with, and I'm just going to fold it over and glue it to make it look just a little bit better. So here's my glue gun. Let's hope I don't get it on my fingers. I'm so used to getting glue on my fingers or whatever, though I think I don't have any nerve endings left. Okay, we got it kind of just glued down a little bit so that raw edge doesn't show. And now we're going to start to just gather it. So I'm going to turn it. I'm just going to be turning it over and over. If you can see that, I'm just turning over and over again. Now really find that the main thing here is to keep your bottom flat as you can. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to put it on the desk. Let me pull this down just a little bit so you can see it better. That's better. Now I'm going to turn and turn and turn till I get to the end of this wire. And this is how you're making your flower. Okay. I don't know if anyone's ever made these before. And by the way, I have a real fast YouTube video on my channel, Maggie Belle Posh, MAGGIBELLE POSH. I'm not posh, but I wish to make posh things. So if you can't hang in for this, then go watch that real fast little video that shows you how to do that. It's on the shorts section, and it's from wide ribbon to ribbon roses. Okay, we are getting to the end. What I like about these is they really don't ever come out exactly the same, but you know, that's the way it is in nature. Flowers are not the same. Okay, we're toward the end. Okay, I'll have to finish it off, but you can see that I've tried to make the bottom flat because we're going to finish that out, and then I've got to finish this raw edge on this end. So what I'm going to do is, there are two ways to do this, by the way. You can take your wire and you can wrap it around that bottom like you just folded, or gathered rather. You can do it that way, or not. You can glue the bottom. In this case, just to use the wire, I'm going to go ahead and just wrap it around. Makes it a little tighter. And I'm going to try to pull it through there, or just glue it. I think I'll just glue it. Okay, now well, that didn't work. It didn't stick. All right then. Alrighty then. You feel that way? We'll just glue it. Okay, burn number one. Hey, I'm on a live, so unless you want to be on camera. Okay. Sorry about that. One of the hazards of working at home. Okay, now I'm just gluing this bottom all together because I've already prepped a circle. I think I have. Here's the circle. Okay, yeah, here's the circle. And I'm just going to glue, this is a piece of felt, green felt. I'm going to just glue that on there. And that will make it stay. Or as I said, you could wrap that wire. In this case, since I have already glue the circle. I'm just going to cut the wire off and finish out the edge. Okay, so cut off that thin wire, and I just need to finish out this raw edge. And this is the way I'm going to do it. Just glue it, and then glue it to the rest of the flower. Okay, we got our ribbon rose right there. There it is. That's all you have to do. Anybody have any questions? I'll be glad to answer them, or you can put them on later. But that's it. Now I finish them off a little differently because I'm going to put them on this paddle-like thing. I have added a piece of ribbon through, I made a loop here, and I added a piece of ribbon through there. I've got some leaves that came off of other flowers, and I am just going to insert those in there, glue those in, so they'll have a bit of green on it, and inserting the ribbon, it will be done, and it will look like these. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this, and like I said, I got a shorter video if you want to run over there and see that. Thanks for watching.